Welcome to another episode of Get in a Room. She's Kristin.
And she's Bobbi.
And this week we have a fun topic to talk about. Since we're just over halfway through the year, we decided we wanted to do a top 5. So this is going to be our top 5 best of the year. We decided that we could choose like a single book, or we could do a series, or we could do one book within a series, whatever, our little heart desired, and categorized as one of our top 5. So,
because it's our rules, and we don't play by any rules. Speaking of, how many books have you read this year?
Yeah, so
you're sorting these out of.
Yeah, so I actually was shocked how little I've read this year. Because last year I read something like 80 some books, and at July 30th, I've only read 30 books. That I can.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I had to that's what I actually did this morning before I did this. I was like, I don't even know what I've read this year. And so this is a really good marker for us to do. I went back through my Kindle, my library apps, both Hoopla and Libby, and my physical books, and my brain as much as it could remember. And I went through Goodreads and I updated my Goodreads. So I included all of these books within my 2023 read shelf that I made. And it looks like I've only read 30 books. And it's really shocking in a way, because I wish I've read more. But when I look at my life this year and some of the things that have been going on, it makes sense versus last year. Just work's been busier in different ways. So I've spent less time reading and more time focused on some tasks there. And what I mean by that is I'm not reading during work. Is when I travel and I'm flying or driving, I read or listen to audiobooks. And I've been doing less travel this year. So that is what I mean by that.
Do you count audiobooks in your read history?
I do.
I don't. But it's only because I don't listen to audiobooks.
Yeah, you're terrible at audiobooks. Yeah, I do count them because they're media that I've consumed that is a book. That's all there is to it. So, how many have you read?
I am at 49.
Yeah, I figured you'd be more than me.
However, where I think the split here, one, work's been a little bit busier. But 2, have you been reading longer books? Because I have just been blowing through 200-page romance novels.
Yeah, I'd say there's
no pun intended.
I'd say I've read probably 2 or 3 700 pages plus books. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say you probably read more pages than me this year.
That would be that'd be an interesting marker to try and identify, but
yeah.
I'm not sure.
What are you reading currently?
Oh, well, I know you finished this one. It came out this week. What did it come out on?
Wednesday.
It came out
on the 26th. It came 26th. Out on July 26th.
Yeah, so I've been reading Psycho Devils, the Aaron's Story Book 2 by Jasmine Moss. Oh my god, I'm 92% of the way through. I tried so hard to finish it before today's show because I know you finished it, and it's so good. I'm freaking obsessed with the story.
I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
Adulting and chores be damned. I couldn't put the bitch down.
Yeah, because I know I texted you on Friday and you're like, yeah, I'm done, bitch. And I was like, this book's 700 pages. What are you talking about? You're done.
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. Somehow I'd convinced myself that all of those books were 200 pages. So I was like, let's be a quick read. I bet I'm almost done. This is, taking all my time to laugh and then reread and put it down and be like, nah, and then pick it back up. I didn't realize it was 700 pages.
Yeah, the books, there's for 700 pages, it's 700 pages of tangible joy to read. Like, it's just, it's so good. It's so good. I am forever grateful that I have found this series and this specifically this author.
This is one of those series that I never ever want it to end. I could live in this universe forever. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, these characters like deserve their ending and some peace, and not to live in the psycho realm.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. For sure, super, super brutal. So I agree with you. I don't want it to end, but at the same time, I'm like, these bitches need a break. I'm already excited for December and the next book, the third book for Aaron's story. Very excited. Not even finished with this one. I'm pumped. I'm ready. I'm here for it.
I really shouldn't have read this one so fast. Like, we have another 6 months before the other book comes out.
Right? It's like, bah. But
yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a reread. Because again, I read through them so fast.
Yeah.
That I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go back and reread those.
Yeah. It'll be so joyful, though. It's fine. So, I wanted to talk about some Booktok drama.
Do we have a drama meme?
I don't know. Probably somewhere. I'll find it. I'll put it on screen. A little bit of
tea?
Yeah. Ooh. Yep. So, let me grab my notes because I have notes.
Oh, she came prepared to spill the tea.
So, there is some concern happening, and honestly, the root of it is it falls down to respect and kindness, and some lack of those two things happening. So we know that Booktok can be a lot sometimes, right? Because like there's a bunch of women simping over these characters, and sometimes the likeness of men are used to likeness of real men are used to personify some of these characters in these books that we've discussed, and I think this is an important discussion to have because Kira Lewis 75 on TikTok made a video back in April of Alex Winenberg, who is a player on the Seattle Kraken's hockey team. And those of you who do not follow hockey, a couple months ago, the playoffs for the season wrapped up, and the season begins back in October. I'm actually a pretty big hockey fan. I love the Krakens because I used to live in Washington, and I was really bummed because the year I moved, the year after, the Krakens came to Seattle, and I grew up in Michigan. I grew up a Red Wings fan, and so it's just kind of interesting how some of this stuff went down because Kira made this video during the playoff time frame. And there are a couple of facts that need to be highlighted in this discussion. One of them is in regards to Felicia Winberg. She is Alex's wife. She has posted, and I should actually go back to Kira Lewis's video. Her video was just of him in his uniform and off and like kind of just song and dancing to it and making some commentary. It was meant in good humor as he's a handsome man. He could totally be in one of these hockey romances or one of these guys in your hockey romance, stuff like that. And I'm a pretty big hockey romance reader because I do love hockey. It's my favorite sport. So I can understand the humor and fun in the video. So I'm gonna put that as my mark of bias on this conversation. So Felicia publicly posted to her Instagram story, maybe not her story, but she's posted before on her Instagram calling calling her own husband Mr. Panty Dropper and Booktok Wank Bank. I don't know what that.
Which we get to say about our own, like your own husband, right?
110%, 110%. So yeah, but one of the things is that later, Felicia posted calling out Kira Lewis. What has happened is that video game popularity and people from the Booktok community started DMing Alex, his wife, and then making comments about their child and posting about their child, Alex and Felicia's child.
Wait, you mean to tell me that the reclusives of the internet took something way too far, made it weird, and ruined all the fun for all of us?
Basically.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Yep. So that is exactly what has happened, is a small group of people have done something I don't agree with, jumped into somebody's DMs and been sexually harassing this gentleman, saying unkind things to his wife and talking about their family.
Nope. Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. Totally fuck that. Kira did not jump in anyone's DMs. She just made a video with using Alex's pictures, which here are some other facts that are important to note. The Krakens flew Kira out to a playoff game and gifted her with a jersey that had Booktok on the back. The Krakens also encouraged her to make videos and even was sending and posting stuff to their own page saying, this is for Booktok, blah, 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 kind of like hyping it up, using Booktok clout to...
No, they're not hyping anything up. I am so sick of other like creators doing this. They're pandering to Booktok, right?
Yes.
Like when the artists come out and they make these songs that are just for Booktok, or these guys come out and they've never once read a book in their entire life. You can tell by their caption they can barely read, and they're making videos for Booktok. It's not hyping it up. It's pandering.
Correct.
The Krakens were pandering to Booktok.
Thank you. That is the perfect way to explain this. So Felicia made this post, and I think she was right to speak out and say, like, this is wrong. I do not think that she was correct in singling out one creator and sharing one creator's name, because there are hundreds. There are hundreds of videos of her husband and other accounts and fan accounts and simpering accounts that are used. So singling one person out is frustrating in my eyes. So the Kraken, as I was saying, like, the Kraken has used Booktok references, and they had their bio for a long time, and because I was following the playoffs, like, their page is something that I was checking, and I remember seeing this. Their bio was simply just mostly Booktok. It is now changed, and it says what's Kraken. But they also unfollowed Kira. So
that's how you know the tea is piping hot. When the followings change, that's when you know.
Yeah, so
that's a big fucking deal on social media. For any of our listeners, my parents, that may not know how you can grade social media drama. When one party unfollows the other party or blocks the other party, that's when you know creme de la creme of social media drama.
Yeah. So I think it's extremely funny that the internet is now calling Kira a sexual harasser. What about all these other women that are in the DM? They're the ones actually sexually harassing. Kira was just making jokes and being playful, and I don't know the exact video because I do believe she has taken it down. But if it's anything like the rest of her content, because I have followed her for a while, and I actually found her because of the playoff video of her getting the Booktok jersey. I was like, who's this? She got a Booktok jersey? I gotta go find it. And I've followed her since then. She's really kind. The impression I get from her content is she's kind and she's well-meaning. She even made a video a while back of like how to be a book talker, or like tips to be a book talker. And one of her biggest message was about being kind. And like, if you don't like a person's books, move on to the next one. Don't say anything about it. Just move on. They did a lot to put it out there. Move on and talk about what you do like, but be kind to each other. And she says that there's a huge flaw in that in the internet. And now she's in the middle of controversy. So that's a little disheartening. And Kira actually reached out to Felicia and her DMs and said, I had no idea this was happening. I'm really sorry. I'm happy to take down the videos if you'd like, or if you are uncomfortable with them. She says some other stuff. You can go to Kira's page and look at this. Her last few videos, they're kind of covering this topic and explaining what's going on. At least as of today, when we're shooting on July 30th, they were there. So I think she shares exactly what she said to Felicia. Felicia never responded to her directly. And Kira's thing was, if she reached out to her instead of just posting to her story so Felicia's, following could come and just annihilate Felicia. Like, if she just reached out and had an adult discussion about it with Felicia, like, hey, I think your video kind of sparked what's happening in our family. I want you to be aware of this, and how it's damaging to us and stuff. Could you take down your video to maybe reduce the amount of whatever, like something? But Felicia never did that. She just kind of called her out straight out on stories, shared her name, talked about it, and stuff like that. So, look. Don't get into fucking people's DMs like that. That's disgusting. We as women, okay, here we go. Here's my soapbox. Because I live in a man's world, right? We all fucking do. So here's the thing. Don't be like the men that we fucking despise. Don't jump into DMs. Don't try to sabotage a family. Don't go simpering and drooling all over this man. Like, do it in your fucking wet dreams, okay? Like, just stop. Like, don't be fucking respectful. In Kira's own words, be kind. It's okay to say nice things like, he's a handsome man, he's that. If you have some fantasy, leave it in your mind for your wank bank later. Thanks, Felicia, for the term. Just stop. Don't tell an author how you don't like their fucking book and how to make it better next time. There's not going to be a next time. They did their job. Leave them the fuck alone. Don't extort this book talker and single her out when there's thousands of videos. Be an adult. Reach out. Have a discussion. There's so many things wrong in this situation and how it was handled. I think the Kraken were wrong with how they handled it. I think Felicia was wrong. I think, Kira is being put in the guillotine for reasons that for other people's atrocities, right? It's like a fucking witch hunt. And now she's the witch. And, she's going to be made an example of. And I think that's bullshit. Because, but share the names of the women who were in the fucking DMs saying the shitty shit. Do that.
Oh, yeah. But they're probably you probably can't share them because now Felicia has a forever gripe against user 458917, right?
Yeah.
Or, some other, if you look at social media names, I wish I would have come prepared with a funny name. Wait, let me pause and think of a really funny username. Felicia will forever have a gripe with Shaquille Oatmeal. She's at war with somebody called Who's Her Daddy.
Yeah, right?
Harry Poppin.
Harry Poppin. So I just find it very frustrating that, one individual is being attacked when there's thousands of content creators making similar stuff about other people. And we're not actually calling out the people who did the wrong thing in the situation. And I don't know, y'all. Just stay the fuck out of people's DMs. Be respectful. Keep scrolling if you don't fucking like something. You don't have to be nasty. And if you do, or if you're obsessed with something and you're overtly liking it, do that in your own time. Don't go crawling into people's DMs to let them know how weird you are. Like, we're all fucking weirdos, okay? But don't be disgusting and a shit human. So, I don't know. I'll get off my soapbox now, but...
No, stay up there. I got questions for you.
Okay, that works.
Actually, I think it just opens a really broad discussion of, like, what are the DMs for? Right? Like, in what instance would you direct message or private message another human being? If you're close friends, you're sending memes back and forth. If you're cheating on your spouse, you're sending salacious messages back and forth. But if you don't know the person at all, should you be up in their DMs at all?
It's a great question. Yep.
If you don't know somebody in real life, should you even be up in their DMs in any capacity?
Yeah. That's a good call. I mean, I
think we need to start having etiquette classes about how to use social media, right? Like, you can't, just like how you should go to etiquette classes to learn which fork to use, they're going to have a test of like, okay, here's 2 messages. Which one are you not allowed to send somebody? If it has any connotation of what you plan to do to their body, don't send it. Don't send that to them. If you don't think that you can comment this on their public page, or in this case, like on his sports page for the Kraken, if you can't leave this comment under a picture on the Kraken's public page, you should probably not be sending it to his or his wife's direct private messages. Right? Like, let's think through this a little bit.
Yeah.
Why do you feel the need to be so secretive about what you're sending to a public figure you don't know? Post it in the comments. Let us all judge you.
Yeah.
Or don't say it at all. Those are the etiquette rules of social media. If you got something creepy to say it in the comments where we can all judge you.
I love that. I know, it just
You got
makes
anything else on that one?
No, it just makes me all riled up. It just makes me so angry because I'm like, we're fucking up a good thing. God damn it. Just because a small group of people, that's how it always goes, right? Fucking up a good thing because people can't control themselves.
This next topic is going to get so much worse.
Okay, yeah, because I need you to explain because I don't know.
Okay. If you would be so kind as to Google a picture of Armie, Armie, Hammer. Hammer.
I'm not ready. I'm so not ready for any of this. Hold on.
I came back being all bossy.
Oh, no.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. I just need to move some screens around because I wanted... Because I'm feeling under the weather, and if I had to cough, I wanted my mute to be up, so I didn't have Google up yet. So, Armie? What am I doing?
Armie. Just Google a picture.
Armie Hammer, right?
Yeah, just Google a picture of him, just so that we know who we're talking about. I don't know if you want to share it now or put it in later. I'll leave that up to you.
I will put it in later. But
okay, but now you know who we're talking about.
I know who we're talking about.
Okay.
Am I supposed to give my immediate thoughts on him?
This dude. Yes.
Okay.
Just judge him harshly for his physical appearance.
His younger self seems more handsome without the beard. He has a lot of scruff on his face in a lot of these pictures, but I think him clean shaven is better. He's got elemental tattoos. two of them that I can see. He's with a lot of pretty women. He looks like a man.
So this guy, I think he played opposite Henry Cavill in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and he's played like Prince Charming. Oh, his most notable role was in that social media one about Mark Zuckerberg. He was one of like the evil twins.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Did he play both the twins?
I think so, yeah.
I'm on his IMDb page now because The Social Network, yep.
Social Network, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is actually a super old story. It started in 2020. The documentary came out in September of 22, and here we are, July 30th. Kristin just got on the bandwagon. Just wait at the train station. I'll get there. Just wait for me. Always the last to arrive. But this guy there's a whole documentary about the types of sexual proclivities that he has been famous for. And the reason I bring it up is because every single one of the text messages that he sent these women reads straight out of a dark romance.
Oh, whoa. He seems very unsuspecting of that.
For example, I own you. You're mine. You were made for me, kitten. I want you to prove your love to me by letting me tie you up. And then I won't finish that one. Yeah. But where it gets interesting is he's actually from, like, his great-grandfather owned the 11th largest oil and gas company, Occidental. Goes by Oxy. So he's from a super rich family, like one of the richest families in the world. They are originally from Russia, and he goes by Army, but his real name is Armand, making his full name Armand Hammer. Named after their family crest of the arm holding the hammer from Soviet Russia.
Okay. This is so interesting.
So the violence and degradation of women goes back for generations, right? That much money, there was no rules for this entire family. And so this dude is just up in women's DMs being like, you are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I want to own you. And he admits to being a cannibal, and he's like, I will find a doctor that will cut out one of your ribs so that I can barbecue it and eat it. He carved his initials into one girl.
Wait. What?
Sorry, I skipped a lot of topics really fast. Which one are you shocked about?
All of them.
Yeah. This is one of those stories that I was like, those dark romances are a little weird now. We're blurring the lines between fiction and reality.
Oh my god. He admits to being a cannibal?
And he admits to being a cannibal, wanting to eat women, wanting to, like, eat their ribs. He also admitted that he wants to cut off a woman's buttocks, have her grill it, and then feed it to her. Her own butt.
Why is he free? He should be institutionalized.
He's got too much money. There's no charges brought up on him. And after all of this, you know how the internet gets. If your story is any inclination of people going a little off the rails, right? Taking a story and really running with it. There's now some people that are thinking he might be a serial killer. and they're
Yeah.
trying to like track his whereabouts with missing people.
Yeah, good call.
Allegedly.
Good job.
Let me go back and say
Allegedly.
He may or may not be a serial
They
killer.
are the
There's
smartest
no
group of people.
Yeah. And consider, out of all the serial killers we've caught, we've only caught the dumb and the poor ones.
Oof. Oof. Oh my god.
Yeah. You've only caught the ones that are too dumb and got caught, and too poor and couldn't pay off the police to just sweep it under the rugs.
Yeah, see, okay, I just want to...
Multiple rugs for multiple bodies.
Yeah, I want to... I like a dark romance. Let me start saying that. None of the dark romances I read go beyond the you're mine, I want to own you, a little biting so someone visually can see that you're somebody else's. Never have they ever gone to cannibalism or like that deep of aggression and potential mutilation.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I had no idea.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. And his aunt wrote a tell-all book, The Curse of Surviving My Birthright, of living in the Hammer family.
That's what I'm
now,
Googling.
All of that's super interesting, right?
Yeah.
In and of itself. What's more interesting is the hundreds of thousands of women that have come out to say it's all fake. He's not actually like that. He doesn't have those proclivities. He doesn't abuse his power or his money. These women are all liars.
Okay.
The text messages are fake. The DMs from his account with the little blue check mark is fake. The videos that he's posting to his own social media account, fake.
He posts to his own social media saying some of this stuff?
No. Those videos are him driving, drinking, doing hard drugs.
The ones he's posting.
The ones he's posting. Because he's above the law. His family has bought everything their entire lives and have never been held accountable for anything they've ever done.
So the Hammer family is part of one of the elite families of the world.
Somebody asked his great-grandfather, I can't remember. They asked him, hey man, why don't you just run for president? Why don't you just be president? He said there's not enough power in that position. There's more power just buying politicians.
I mean, he's not wrong, but that's fucked up. Just, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. So, that was a little uncomfy, right? If you love a dark romance, it kind of blurs the lines between fiction and reality.
A little uncomfy? I am, like, nauseous.
Yeah. I shit you not. It is every single thing that you read in a dark romance is what this guy is doing. The biting, the text messages, the showing up at somebody's location like a fucking stalker because they don't want to see him anymore and he's going to win their love back. It's all of that. It is its own dark romance novel to a T, except that when he's done, he just discards these women and starts over every 3 months. Like clockwork.
So he is named after his great-grandfather, who was Armand Hammer, was the American business manager and owner most closely associated with the Occidental Petroleum, a company he ran from 1957 until his death in 1990. He is Lenin's chosen capitalist by the press. He was also known for his art collection and his close ties to the Soviet Union. They
left the Soviet Union because they couldn't make enough money under the communist regime.
Yeah. So this must be grandpa, not great grandpa, who left the Soviet Union, because this Archie Hammer was born in 1898 in New York.
4 generations. So
Yeah, so
I
this
couldn't
would
remember if it
be,
was his great grandfather or his grandfather.
it's probably his
I couldn't remember.
great-grandfather. So, and I Googled
Yeah,
surviving my
yeah.
birthright, and the paperback on Amazon is $95. Um,
Nuh-uh.
yeah, which is so
By
bizarre.
Casey Hammer?
By Casey Hammer. And then you can get it for free with a Barnes and Noble's audiobook subscription or pay $5 on Barnes and Noble. What a juxtaposition there. It's on Audible for $17. Holy crap. How weird and bizarre. I'm
I don't know if
surprised.
you have to read it. There's a 3-part docuseries. Discover and HBO or HBO.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I would do the doc.
Yeah.
I would probably do a docu-series, perhaps.
It derailed my whole morning.
You just derailed my fucking mental state. But yeah, he plays both twins in the um Zuckerberg, the social network.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those
and
red
he's the
flags just
Lone
ain't
Ranger
so
in
cute.
the. Oh, that's so crazy. I've seen that movie. What were you saying? Sorry.
Um Actually, a lot of his movies have all bombed at the box office, which is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was saying it's kind of funny how like in real life those red flags and all those behaviors just aren't so cute in real
Mm-mm.
life.
Mm-mm.
Leave leave it in the books, ladies.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, that was a lot of drama in an hour, 20 minutes. How long have we been on here?
38 minutes.
That was a lot, man. That was some of our most dramatic series yet.
Yeah, that was a lot.
All right. Should we decompress with
Yeah.
our top 5 of this year?
Yes, we shall.
Kristin's top 5 favorite books from the year of 2023. Like I said, I'm sitting at about 49 books so far this year, so this is the top 5 out of 49. Number 1 on the list, I was gonna originally these were in no particular order, but now that I look at them, they're in a fairly particular order. Number 1, Haunting Adeline. But not the whole cat and mouse duo, just the first one. The second book was way too much, way too over the line, too much no thank you in that book. The first one was freaking excellent though, right? Kept me on the edge of my seat every time. You're like, there's no way. Oh my god, he did it. That one was absolutely fantastic. I loved it so much. But it is a dark romance, so it is very dark themed and very violent and aggressive. The next one is Tangled in Tinsel, which is the exact opposite of Haunting Adeline. Super light, super fun-hearted, super fun, super light-hearted. Just a great overall quick little read by Trelina Pucci. Just absolutely fantastic. So the next one I picked was the Mindfuck series. All 5 books were absolutely fantastic. So I selected that whole series as my number 3. It's a great little bit about a femme fatale. I think it's written in like a Criminal Minds delivery style. Talking about the unsub, talking about the psychology behind their unsub and stuff like that. The only thing is, I didn't like the ending, but I won't say any more than that. The rest of it was great up until like the last chapter. Endings are hard, though. Endings are hard. We both have this one on our list. I think this might be the only samesies one that we have. Psycho Shifters is, and the whole series. There's not one that you could pick out.
Mm-hmm.
I love the humor. I love the female characters are just like struggling through life with a sense of humor. I mean, who's not struggling through life leaning on their sense of humor, right? And number 5 on this list was You Can Follow Me. This was a great little, quick little romance novel. A girl gets kidnapped by a bunch of Navy SEALs, and they go off to live in the woods together. It's going to be a 3-part, a trilogy. The second one wasn't super great, but I think she can, depending on where the third one goes, that might become a favorite series. But definitely the first one. The first one was fantastic. And because I couldn't keep it at 5, I do have a runner-up. Are we allowed? We're doing runner-ups?
You can do a runner-up because you did one, I did one, so it worked out.
Oh, perfect. We both couldn't keep it to 5. Runner-up was the Dolls and Douchebag series. Right now, I think it's like 4 or 5 books, and it's a super interesting read, except for that I keep remembering that they're 18 and not like grown adults. So it's really weird to have like a mafia setting with gangs and bikers and the Dark Triad at like 18. So that's a little weird, but still super interesting.
So I read 30 books this year, as I said in the beginning of the episode, and these are my top 5 with an honorable mention. This was surprisingly easy to pick out because there's just been some really good standout reads this year. And I'm going to start with a book that a lot of people have read, and it is Crescent City. I believe I've read book 1 and 2 both this year, if I'm remembering correctly. Crescent City 1, House of Sky and Breath, may have been a straddle of the year, like started at the end of last year and brought into January, if I'm remembering correctly. And then I read number 2. Of the SJM books, and I don't put this at number 1 because it's SJM and it's part of this world. That it's strictly because of the characters, and mainly because I fucking love Bryce, the main character. She is my favorite main character that I have read this year, and I love it because she hates evil, but she will murder the planet for the innocent and the unpowerful. And that is the only badass main character energy and vibes that I need in my life right now. Like, I just am so much on the vibe of be kind, do good for others who have less, and stand up for what's right. And so, like, Bryce is my bitch. She is my homegirl. I want to be her best friend. So that is why Crescent City is my number 1 for the year so far. So, not because SJM masochist, it's because I love Bryce. Number 2 is Blade of Demons. This is a very unique and interesting world. It is about vampires. It's a super, super slow burn, so Kristen would hate it. I love it. There's 3 books out. I am on reading the 3rd book, I think. It's been waiting for me in my Kindle. I need to read it. And if it's not waiting for me, it's pre-ordered for when it comes out. I can't remember because it's been a minute. But Blade of Demons is actually the 2nd book in the series. And I loved the 1st book and I adored the 2nd book, and so the 2nd book has made the list for this year for top 5 so far. Next is the Psycho Shifters A Cruel Shifter series, the 5 books that are currently out. Guaranteed the 6th book as well. I'm just already gonna give it grouped in. It's probably fantastic. Sadie and Erin, we love a brutally honest, openly mentally deranged, strong female. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I cannot handle how much I love these two women. They are best friends. They are the best friend energy that I aspire in my life, going through trials and tribulations and just doing it with all the humor, but also the derangedness of life. Next, we have Not So Lucky. The spit scene got me. It got me. That is all. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But it made my top 5 because the true audacity of writing that scene, I was just like weirdly here for it in the context of the story. Let me say that in the context of the story. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Next, I could not. I'm surprised this is number 5, but the Medici manuscript. The Glass Library, book 1 by C.J. Archer. We all know that if this was a list of the top 5 authors, C.J. Archer is my number 1. There's no questions asked, never will be. I just have so many questions about where this series is going, and I cannot wait. I believe the next one is also coming out in December, so December is going to be a good fucking month for reading for yo bitch, because not only am I getting the 6th book of Psycho Shifters, or Psycho Devils, I am getting also another C.J. Archer book, which is just, my heart is full already, just thinking about it. My runner-up, Hockey Romance Iced Out. This Iced Out, though, there's a couple called Iced Out. This is specifically the one that is two main characters, dual point of view. I'm trying to think. I can see the author's name. Let me look up the author's name really quick, team. Yeah, C.E. Ricky, R-I-C-C-I, Ricky? C.E. Ricky. It is her Iced Out. Again, it's a hockey romance. It is rivals to lovers, hockey teammates. I do love me any form of gay love story. Any form of gay love story. And then if you add just like brooding male sports people into it, I'm like, yeah. Yep. And like, I know it's written by a woman, but the whole idea of men having emotions and talking about them, and the whole thing about them falling in love with another man, and the whole like masculinity thing, like I know it's written by a woman. I need to find more male gay authors writing, you know, their story about, or their stories about their community. I really need to do that. But it's such a good book, and it's heartwarming and kind of funny. It's actually really funny. So, just good.
Actually, I do have a quick request. Speaking of looking for different authors, a quick request of the community. Are there, English is hard, are there any books that are dual perspective but written, co-authored by a man and a woman that like write each character?
That'd be great.
I will allow you to DM me the title of that book, or you can just put it in the comments. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
But that's what I'm on the hunt for. A good dual POV, but written, co-authored by a man and a woman.
Please. That would be wildly cool and fun.
Yeah.
But that's my top 5 and my runner-up honorable mention. I mean, you can't get any better out of the 30 books that I read. And I've read quite a bit of like rom-coms this year, but I'm such a fantasy person that a lot of my stuff, you know, I think only 2 fall outside of the fantasy realm, and fall more in maybe like a contemporary. But yeah.
Let's be honest, Not So Lucky's a fantasy.
Yeah, that's super true. That's true.
I mean, fantasy, romance, it's a pretty blurred line, right?
Mm-hmm. Truly.
I know somebody's going to be up in the comments. No, it is not. There is a clear distinction. That's why they're two different categories.
Bet it's a man.
Can't change my mind.
I was just
Pretty much just one category to me.
I didn't even categorize books so minutely until I learned that people did that when I joined the internet community of books, like Bookstagram and Booktok. Like, I did not get this. It was like romance or fantasy, or one that had both. Not there's contemporary fantasy, there's like, or contemporary romance, and then there's like all these subcategories. And I'm like, it's the same thing I feel about music. So much crossover. Like, I would love a record store, because I go to the record store often. I would love a record store that just puts artists in alphabetical order. Because I'm
here for the chaos. I am here for the chaos. Or rainbow order of whatever color their album is.
Oh God, I'd be fucked. But like,
if just a random order of whenever the record came in, first in, last in, first out, first in, first out.
I just want them in alphabetical order so I can walk in and find exactly what I need. But when I have to put them in a category of genre, I'm like, I just look at the person at the record store. I was like, can you help me find this? And they walk right over to it because they know, right? And they're good at their job. And I'm just sitting there like, hey, I don't know what genre it is. I just like the songs. I'm the same with books. I don't know what genre it is. I just like the story.
You know, the other thing, though, is based on the couple of authors that we've interviewed on our show. Go check out those episodes. I don't know what number they are. Bobbi will just write it on the screen for me.
Tag
she's
them
the
and
editing
flag 'em.
genius. But maybe don't tag them. I don't know. Just have people go.
Oh,
listen
no,
to those
I'll
episodes.
take the episodes, our episodes, and put them in the card thingy. Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be super nice or not, so maybe don't tag the authors. But in the interviews that we've done with the authors, they get to just pick their categories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they can just say it is whatever trope that they want to say it is, whether it fits into that or not. Or
That's
whether
true.
it fits into another one. They don't have to include that if they don't want to. They
true.
just get to be like, yeah, I know he beats her, but it's not a bully romance. Just because the author said it wasn't.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's all made up. Just read what you like and put it down if it doesn't make you happy. I think we need to encourage longer DNFs.
Yes. I need to.
Longer? More.
And then just
more DNFs. Your DNF list should be longer.
Your DNFs should be longer. And your DMs should be non-existent. Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. DMs are not for you.
Nope.
Well, you can DM me, but this is getting confusing because I meant you as in Bobbi, not you as in all-encompassing other people that aren't me.
Fair. But we'll be back next week for another episode. Be sure to join us, get in our room, be our roommate, and we'll see you next week.